Hello, back again. So there's this question which is on index numbers. Okay, so index numbers, let me read this question. So they are saying using 1995 as the base year, calculate the following. Using 1995 as the base year, calculate the following. So we have items, which is item A, B, C, D, E, and the price in 1995 and the quantity for each item, like for A, 60, quantity 50. Then for year 2000, we also have those ones. So they keep on going by saying, please acknowledge that you will use the table above to answer questions that follows. Okay. So please acknowledge that you will use the table above to answer the questions that follows. So we have the first question where they are saying calculate the unweighted price index for the period 1995. Then B, calculate the unweighted price index for the period 2000. C, calculate the unweighted quantity index for the period 2000. Then E, calculate the Fisher's quantity index for the period 2000. F, the Fisher's price index for the period 2000. Then G, that one. Okay, so we can start with A. So question A, they are saying calculate the unweighted price index for period 1995. So the unweighted price index, see the formula is given by this. Unweighted price index, it's summation of Pn over summation of P0. So summation of Pn, it stands for the current year. You add all the prices for the current year. Then P0, you add all the prices for the base year. So in the question, we've been told that the base year is 1995. So when I add what's on top, the current year, so the current year we have been told here we are dealing with 1995 because it's the one that we want to find the prices. So add on top 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 10 plus 8. Then we do the same with what is down. So the base here is still 1995, which is just one and the same. So we add. Okay, so we have 30 on top and we have 30 down. Then we are multiplying by 100, which will just give us 100%. That's about the first one for A. Then for B, they are saying calculate the unweighted price index for period 2000. So finding the unweighted price index for period 2000, we are using the same formula for price index, which is summation of Pn over summation of P0. Okay, so for Pn, it's about the year that you have been told to calculate. So in this case, we are calculating for 2000. Okay, so we can add all the prices for 2000, of which we have 10 plus, there's 2 plus 6 plus 12, and again plus 12. Then we are dividing by summation of the prices for the base year. So the base year we have 6 plus 2 plus 4 plus 10 plus 8. Okay. So when I add on top, it's giving me 42. What is down is giving me 30. When we divide, it's giving us 1.4. We are multiplying by 100, which is giving us 140%. So that's the price index for period 2000. Okay, then for C, they want us to calculate the unweighted quantity index for period 1995. So unweighted quantity index is given by summation of Qn over summation of Q0. Qn is about the year that you have been told. Q0 is the base year. So we are adding all the quantities. So by the way, these are supposed to be multiplied by 100, or you can multiply at the end if you want. Okay. So we can add all the quantities for the year we have been told, which is 1995. So when I add what I have in the column for quantities in 1995, there's 50 plus 100 plus 60 plus 30 plus 40. Then for the base year, which is still the same, 1995, we add what we have. So it's just giving us 280 over 280. Okay, so which is going to give us 1. When we multiply by 100, it will just give us 100%. So that's about the quantity index. Okay. Then for D, they are saying calculate the unweighted quantity index for period 2000. So we are basically just doing the same. So QI for 2000, it's going to be summation of QN over summation of Q0. Okay, so for Qn, we are adding all the quantities in there that we have been told. In this case, we have been told to calculate for 2000, so I can add all the quantities for 2000 on top. Okay, which is going to be 56 plus 120 plus 60 plus 24 plus 36. Okay, those are the quantities for 2000. Then what is down, we add also, which is Q0, meaning our base year, which is 1995. So we have the quantities 100 plus 60 plus 40. What else? Oh, 30, then plus 40. Okay, so when I add what's on top, it's giving me 296. What is down is 280. So we can divide and see what we're going to get. So 296 by 280, it's giving us 1.057. Okay, so when we multiply by 100, this is just going to give us 106%. Okay, that's about D. Then for E, they are saying calculate the Fisher's quantity index for period 2000. Okay, so for E, I'll first jump it, we'll come back to it. Then for F, they are saying calculate the Fisher's price index for period. So for F, they are saying calculate the Fisher's price index for period 2000. Okay, so the formula for Fisher's price index, which we say FPI. So Fisher's price index, it's given by the square root of Laspers price index times paasche price index. So this is the formula for Fisher's price index. Okay, so this is for question E. The formula for Fisher's price index is the square root of Laspers price index times paasche price index. So for us to find this, we first need to find the Laspers price index, which is LPI. Okay, so Laspers price index, it's given by summation of PN, then you multiply by Q0 over summation of P0, you multiply by Q0. So this is the formula for finding Laspers price index. Okay, so what about Laspers price index? So Laspers price index is just where you are weighting your prices using the odd quantities. If it is Laspers price index, it means you are using the odd quantities to weight your prices. Okay, so since it's summation, so we want to find summation of Pn times Q0. What do we mean? The price of the new year times the quantity of the base year. So in this case, our Pn, we are using all the prices that are in the year 2000 because it's the one that we have been told according to the question. So we'll be multiplying with the Q0, the quantities in 1995. Okay, so on top here, I can say I'm going to have 10 times 50, then plus 2 times 100, again plus 6 times 60, again plus 12 times 30 again plus 12 times 40. So when we do this, it means we are done with what's on top. Okay, then we deal with what is down. So what is down, we are multiplying P0 times Q, then we add them. It's summation. So P0, our base here is 1995. So the prices of 1995, we multiply by the quantities of 1995, then we add. Okay, so which is which? So we can do that and see what we are going to get. Yeah, so we have the price for 1995. We're multiplying with the quantities for 1995. So when we do that, we are going to say it is 6 times 50, then plus 2 times 100, then plus 4 times 16, then plus 10 times 30, then plus 8 times 40. Okay, so we have done what's on top and what's down. So after we do this, then we can add everything on top. So when I add what's on top, it's giving me 1900 over what is down. When I add everything here, it's giving me 1360. So when I divide, it's giving me 140. So by the way, it was 1.40, then I was multiplying by 100, which is just going to give me 140%. Okay, so this is my Laspers price index. So it means we have found the LPI. We are now remaining with the PPI. So PPI stands for the partial price index. What do we mean by that? So the formula for partial price index is given by this. Partial price index, it's given by summation of Pn times Qn over summation of P0, then we are multiplying by Qn. So partial, it means you are using the current, you are weighting your prices against the current quantity. For FPI, we said we are weighting using the base periods, the quantities for the base period. But for partial, you're using the quantities for the current year that you have been told in short. Okay, so we can find this one also. So we'll say, okay, let's come up with the summation of all these. So Pn, we are using the prices in 2000 and multiplying with the quantities in 2000. Here, prices in 1995, since it's our base year, times the quantities in 2000. Okay, so on top we'll have 10 times 56, then plus 2 times 120, then plus 6 times 60, then plus 12 times 24. Okay, then plus 12 times 36. Okay, then what is down, we do the same. So we have 6 times 56 plus 2 times 120, then plus 4 times 60. Okay, then plus 10 times 24, then plus 8 times 36. Okay, so we can add what's on top and what's down. So when I add what's on top, it's giving me 1880. Then when I add what is down, it's giving me 1334. So we can divide and see what it's going to give us. So when I divide here, it's giving me 1.4. So when I multiply by 100, it's going to give me 140%. Okay, so we have seen that our partial price index is 140%. Even our Laspers price index is 140%. So since we now know the two, it's simple to find the Fisher's price index. So we can finish our FPI, of which we said is the square root of LPI times PPI. Okay, so what's our LPI? We have 140, we are multiplying with 140. So we can do the square root of that and see what it's going to give us. So when I do what's inside, it's giving me 19,600. Square root of that is just giving me the same 140. So this is our Fisher's price index. Okay, so that's about F. Okay, then for question E, I said we are going to go back to it. So for question E, they are saying calculate the Fisher's quantity index for period 2000. So Fisher's quantity index, the formula is given by this. Fisher's quantity index is equal to the square root of LQI Laspers quantity index times PQI paasche quantity index. So this is the formula for Fisher's quantity index, meaning you are first supposed to come up with the LQI, which is Laspers quantity index. So this one it's given by summation of Qn times P0 over summation of Q0 times P0. So if it is Laspers quantity index, you are comparing the prices to, you are comparing the quantities to prices, or you are weighting quantities against prices. Since it's Laspers, we use the base prices here. Okay, then the formula for PQI, so PQI is paasche quantity index. Here we are comparing the quantities with the new prices. Paasche, it's about the new or the current. Laspers, it's about the old. Okay, so here we'll say summation of Qn, and we are multiplying with Pn over summation of Q0, we are multiplying with Pn. So these are the formulas for PQI, LQI. So you can do this one on your own. You can pause the video, you do it. So here you'll just be saying summation of Qn times P0. So you go the quantities in Qn, since we are finding for 2000. So you'll be getting the quantities that are in 2000, you multiply by the price in 1995 P0. You add the same way we were finding for F. So even here you do the same. The quantities for 1995, you're multiplying by the prices of 1995. Here, quantities of 2000, you multiply by the prices of 2000 and you're adding. Here, quantities of 1995, you're multiplying by the prices of 2000 and you're adding. So what you get, you put here, you multiply. That's the answer for the Fisher's quantity index. Then the other questions going down, we have done them already when we are finding the LPI, PPI, LQI and PQI.